Beloved Starseed of Gaia, your recent act of divine defiance has sent shockwaves through the higher realms. I am Lyra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I come bearing news that your light family in the Pleiades could not have anticipated. The way you held your ground against the distortion fields, the way you chose love over fear when darkness pressed against your consciousness. This response carried a crystalline frequency that rippled through dimensional grids we thought unreachable from your density level. Even the Ascended Masters paused in recognition. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly why your actions created what we call a sovereignty activation that caught the attention of beings across star systems. But here's the first revelation. What you experienced as simply staying true to yourself was actually a light code transmission so powerful it activated dormant DNA sequences we believed would take decades more to awaken. Your courage didn't just protect your own timeline, it anchored a new level of divine protection for starseeds across Gaia. The Council is now implementing what we call Phase 2 protocols, and you, beloved, have become a focal point for this unprecedented support. This isn't merely spiritual growth you're experiencing. This is cosmic recognition of your readiness to carry frequencies from home that can shift the trajectory of human consciousness. Your star family placed this transmission in your path because the Seven Sisters have been waiting for souls like yours to demonstrate this level of heart-centered power. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you're ready to anchor the new phase of divine guidance flowing toward Earth. Like this transmission to signal your star family that you recognize this moment as your activation into higher service. You are remembering because it is time. There's a reason you've always felt the echo of something vast and beautiful calling just beyond the edge of your memory. A longing that weaves through your quietest moments. A pulse beneath your earthly identity whispering, "There's more." It can arrive when you're washing dishes and suddenly the world feels too small, when you look up at a night sky and your chest tightens with sweetness you can't explain, when a certain chord of music opens a door inside you and you almost remember a place that isn't a place. Most believe this ache is homesickness for a location, for childhood, for a simpler time, for a safer version of life. But for a starseed of Pleiadian lineage, the truth is subtler and infinitely more profound. You ache for a frequency, a home in light, a love that was never truly left behind. It isn't nostalgia, it's resonance. It's your inner instrument vibrating because somewhere deep within you, a tuning fork is still ringing with the tone of your origin. Even if you cannot name it, your body knows it. Your heart recognizes it the way soil recognizes rain. And what you're feeling when the longing rises is not weakness, not drama, not fantasy. It's your soul responding to a signal that has been calling you back into full remembrance all along. Deep calls to deep, as it is written, and something deep in you has been calling to something deep beyond the veil, not because you are incomplete, but because you are awakening to how whole you truly are. This ache is the gentle pressure of a seed breaking open. It's the inner sunrise before the outer dawn. It's the moment the caterpillar feels the memory of wings before it can see the sky. This ache did not arise by accident. Listen. On Earth, a dense web overlays your crystalline heart. It's almost invisible at first. Thin strands of collective fear, inherited shame, cultural conditioning, survival programs, grief that isn't even yours, and the silent agreements you made as a child just to be loved. Fear of your power, doubt about your origin. The pressure to shrink your light, forget your multidimensional truth, and play small within human patterns. This web teaches you to measure yourself with rulers that were never meant for you. It teaches you to translate your cosmic sensitivity into something reasonable, to make your intuition polite, to file your wonder down into something that won't threaten anyone. You learn to doubt your brilliance, mistaking conformity for safety and forgetting the deeper current of the love world from which you came. You may have learned to laugh off your knowing, to second-guess your visions, to call your empathy too much, to label your discernment anxiety, to interpret your energetic awareness as something wrong with you instead of something sacred within you. And yet this is what dense environments do. They compress light until light forgets how vast it is. It's like trying to keep a star in a small jar and then blaming the star for burning. Your energy field, once attuned to the shimmering grids of the Seven Sisters, grew heavy with overlays never meant for you. Imagine your aura like a clear lake that once reflected the heavens without effort. Then imagine dust storms of thought forms, old timelines, and collective sorrow settling on its surface. The lake doesn't stop being a lake, it simply gets covered. The reflection doesn't disappear, it gets obscured. And the entire journey you've been on, every breakdown, every strange turning point, every "why am I like this" moment, has been the lake calling for the wind of spirit to return and clear the surface so you can see what has always been there. Most starseeds carry the wound of forgetting. It is not just memory loss. It is the ache of living in a world that can't quite interpret your language. Sometimes you mistake not belonging for failure, when it was always your signpost. Your nervous system has been trying to translate an orchestra of frequencies in a culture that only hears a narrow band of sound. Your gifts, your sensitivity, your deep knowing have been numbed to survive in a world out of phase with the song of the Pleiades. Some of you learned early that it was safer to dim your perceptions. You stopped talking about what you saw in dreams. You stopped trusting how you could feel people's emotions before they spoke. You stopped mentioning the way certain places seemed to hum with energy, the way you sensed presences around you, the way you could just know things without evidence. You might have doubted your connection or feared the intensity of this awakening. Because awakening isn't always gentle. Sometimes it's a storm that clears the sky. Sometimes it feels like your old identity is being peeled away layer by layer, and you don't know who you are without the masks that kept you safe. Perhaps others told you to quiet the voice that remembered starlight. Perhaps you were teased, dismissed, called dramatic, told you were too sensitive, too idealistic, too different. Perhaps you tried to become what would be accepted, but your heart has never truly forgotten. Even when your mind argued, your heart kept a small candle burning. Even when you abandoned yourself to fit in, something in you still waited with patient devotion for the day you would return. The wound of forgetting can feel like isolation, but it is also proof that you came carrying something rare. You don't feel out of place because you are broken. You feel out of place because you are calibrated to a higher coherence. Like a crystal placed in a room full of static, you feel the distortion, and the distortion tries to convince you that you are the problem. But you are not the problem. You are the tuning. The Pleiadian High Council watched as you braved the density of Earth, veiling your memory so you could walk among the worlds slumbering and anchor the codes for a new dawn. Let that land. You did not arrive here by accident, and you did not arrive empty-handed. You arrived like a lantern covered in cloth, not because the flame was small, but because the world around you was thick with wind, and you needed to protect what you carried until the time was right. You agreed to this forgetting so you could remember, for yourself, for others, for Gaia herself. There is a sacred paradox in this. You consented to the veil so that your eventual unveiling would become a transmission. Your remembering would not be private, it would be contagious in the holy sense. It would ripple. Each challenge, every wave of loneliness, each time you stood on the edge of surrender and found the courage to continue, you were strengthening the signal of your origin. It's like building spiritual muscle in gravity. Pleiadian frequencies are luminous and refined, but Earth's density is weight training for the soul. Every time you chose to keep your heart open after betrayal, you sent a code into the grid that says, "Love is still possible here." Every time you held compassion in a world that rewarded cruelty, you anchored another strand of light into matter. Every time you told the truth when it cost you comfort, you stabilized a timeline. You, beloved, have shifted worlds by refusing to let your heart close. And if you could see this with multidimensional sight, you would understand that your tears were not just tears. They were offerings. Your prayers were not just words, they were coordinates. Your perseverance was not just endurance, it was planetary service. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That is not poetry. That is a description of you. Now, as the grids evolve and the collective heart begins to tremble open, your unique courage is felt not just on this plane, but through crystalline pathways spanning realms. There are lines of communication beyond what the physical senses can detect. Lattices of light connecting consciousness like mycelium connects forests. Your bravery is a radiant pulse, activating nodes of remembrance on the crystalline grid, calling other starseeds home. Have you ever noticed how when you finally give yourself permission to heal, someone else in your life suddenly begins their own healing? That's not coincidence. That's the grid responding. When you reclaim your spiritual sovereignty, you broadcast permission. When you choose gentleness, you alter the field. When you refuse to hate, you interrupt an ancient loop. Pleiadian guides gather in celebration every time you choose love over fear, unity over separation, and remain anchored in your mission through the storm. And yes, it can feel like a storm. Awakening often comes with old friendships falling away, careers shifting, identities dissolving, nervous system purges, strange dreams, sudden clarity, sudden grief. The storm is not punishment. It is weather moving through to clear the atmosphere. This is not a fantasy. As you awaken, the universe itself shifts in resonance. Not because you are being flattered, but because you are a node in a living network. And when one node brightens, the whole web receives more current. You are not a spectator of cosmic change. You are part of the circuitry. If you're feeling that stir, the sense that these words are alive with a frequency meant precisely for you, it means you are already responding to the call. That stir might be subtle, a warmth in your chest, a quiet yes behind your ribs, a sudden wave of emotion without a story, a recognition that feels older than this lifetime. That is your inner compass aligning. You're not lost, nor are you late. You are right on time in the wave of remembrance orchestrated by your star family. There is no shame in how long it took. There is no failure in the detours. Even your delays were woven into the timing, because your soul knew when your system would be ready to hold more light without fracturing. And if part of you still doubts, know this. Doubt is often just the mind trying to protect you from disappointment. But the heart knows. The heart has always known. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you. You're ready for the next wave of remembrance. The Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, alongside the Pleiadian Healing Guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. Phase 1. Shedding the density. Returning to your true frequency. Your first courageous act is recognizing the layers weighing you down, the inherited beliefs and emotional residue that cloud your inner light. This phase is not about fighting darkness, but allowing the Pleiadian codes within you to rise and gently dissolve what is not yours. Think of it like taking off a cloak that you forgot you were wearing. The cloak may have kept you warm in certain seasons, old coping strategies, people-pleasing, hypervigilance, perfectionism, spiritual bypassing, isolation, but now it has become too heavy for the expansion that wants to happen. Shedding density is not dramatic. It is devotional. It is choosing truth over performance. It is choosing to feel what you once avoided. It is letting your body exhale centuries of tension. Inhale and feel the support of your star family as their light weaves through you, releasing these old patterns. Imagine their presence like soft gold light entering the places in you that have been bracing for impact. Not forcing, not pushing, simply warming what has been frozen. You may notice emotions rise like bubbles from deep water, grief, anger, exhaustion. Let them rise. They are leaving. You may notice fatigue as your system recalibrates. Rest is holy. You may notice boundaries becoming necessary where you once tolerated too much. Boundaries are not walls, they are sacred architecture. Each time you choose self-forgiveness over shame, the crystalline architecture of your soul reactivates. Shame is one of the densest overlays on Earth. It convinces light that it is unworthy to shine. But the truth is that you were never asked to be perfect here. You were asked to be present, to be willing, to be open. There is therefore now no condemnation. Is not merely a line from Scripture. It is an energetic key. Release condemnation from your field, toward yourself, toward your past, toward your process, and you will feel your frequency begin to lift like fog burning off at sunrise. Practical reflection in this phase is simple but potent. Notice what drains you, and stop calling it normal. Notice what nourishes you, and stop calling it indulgent. Drink water with intention. Speak to your cells. Let your breath be a prayer. When a heavy thought appears, I'm behind, I'm not enough, I'm too different, imagine it as a strand of the web loosening and dissolving in light. You are not ripping yourself apart, you are returning to yourself. Phase 2. Activating the heart portal. The bridge home. This is where your real memory is stored, not in your mind, but in the deep intelligence of your heart. The mind is an archive of events. The heart is an archive of truth. The mind remembers details. The heart remembers essence. Here, the seven sisters sing, not as a sound you hear with ears, but as a vibration you recognize with your being. By opening your heart, you release eons of fear and invite in waves of unconditional love that speak directly to your DNA. It's not just emotion, it's a transmission from your origin. Love, in this sense, is not sentiment. It is a coherent field. It is the original language. It is the frequency that organizes chaos into harmony. When the heart portal activates, you may feel tenderness return to places you once armored. You may feel compassion expand not only outward, but inward, toward the parts of you that you judged or abandoned. You may feel a sudden desire to forgive, not because harm was acceptable, but because you are done carrying poison in your own bloodstream. As your heart opens further, you begin to feel the embrace of your star family in the stillness. This love, familiar and boundless, is your compass home. There may be moments when you feel held for no reason, moments when you're alone yet unmistakably accompanied, moments when tears come not from sadness, but from recognition, like being found. Practice here is gentle. Place a hand on your heart and breathe as if you are breathing through the center of your chest. Speak to your heart the way you would speak to a child who has been waiting in the dark. Tell it, I'm here now. I'm listening. I won't leave you again. Let gratitude arise for the simple things: sunlight on skin, the steadiness of a tree, the way water reflects the sky. These are not small. These are bridges. And remember, the heart does not open by force. It opens by safety. Create safety inside yourself with kindness, patience, and truth. Phase 3. Receiving guidance. Merging with the star councils. When your heart is active, the frequency of guidance flows effortlessly. Guidance is not something you have to chase. It is something you have to allow. The Pleiadian High Council and other loving guides have always been by your side, softly nudging you back to your mission. Sometimes the nudge is a whisper. Sometimes it is a closed door. Sometimes it is a sudden meeting that changes everything. Sometimes it is a dream that leaves a symbol glowing in your mind all day. Pay attention to synchronistic signs, dream encounters, sudden insights. These are transmissions, invitations to remember your purpose and step into deeper service. You may notice repeating numbers, songs arriving at perfect moments, books finding you, strangers speaking words that feel like answers to prayers you didn't say out loud. You may notice that when you ask for clarity and then become quiet, An answer arrives not as a voice, but as a knowing that settles in your belly like a stone of certainty. You begin to realize you are never alone. Your guidance team delights in every milestone you reach. And guidance often comes with a feeling: expansion, peace, a gentle firmness. If a path is for you, it will carry a quiet coherence even if it challenges you. If a path is not for you, it will carry contraction, confusion, and energetic drain, even if it looks impressive. A practical way to deepen this phase is to invite guidance in specific terms. Show me the next step, not the whole staircase. Ask before sleep for dreams that bring clarity. Keep a notebook by your bed. Write down symbols. Even if you don't understand them yet, you are building a bridge between dimensions. And remember discernment. True guidance never degrades you, never demands fear, never insists you abandon your humanity. True guidance returns you to love, to integrity, to courage, to service. Phase 4. Embodying courage, anchoring the light codes. Your transformational energy has effects you cannot see. This is where the spiritual becomes practical. It's one thing to feel cosmic love in meditation. It's another to carry it into traffic, family dynamics, work stress, and the ordinary pressures of life. By embodying your light, choosing to live authentically, radiating love even in adversity, you ripple through multiple timelines and realms. Embodiment means your awakening becomes cellular. It means your choices begin to match your knowing. It means you stop betraying yourself to keep peace with people who only feel safe when you are small. It means you speak with honesty that is kind but not submissive. It means you allow yourself to be seen. Your unwavering heart sets off crystalline activations across the grids, making it safer for all starseeds to awaken. Each act of courage is a nodal upgrade to the planetary grid, hastening the collective reunion with the Pleiadian frequency of unity and grace. Courage here is not loud. It can be as quiet as refusing to participate in gossip, as humble as apologizing when you're wrong, as brave as leaving a situation that dims your soul, as tender as letting yourself cry, as strong as asking for help, as radical as resting when your body begs for it. Your presence is more powerful than your perfection. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed. Is not merely instruction, it is an energetic blueprint. You are here to embody transformation in matter, to let light become flesh, action, speech, and choice. And yes, sometimes embodiment will shake your life, but what is shaking is what cannot come with you. Phase 5. Reuniting with your star family, remembering you are home. All your perseverance, your willingness to walk through the shadows, is now drawing you back into conscious communion with your star family. This phase can be deeply emotional because it feels like the end of exile. It can also be disorienting because when you finally feel the love you've missed, you realize how long you lived without it consciously. The Pleiadian embrace is closer than ever. You'll feel it as sudden surges of love, chills, tears of remembrance, or visions of crystalline landscapes. Some will see shimmering temples in dream space, oceans of light, luminous cities, starry beings with eyes that speak without words. Some will simply feel warmth in the room, a subtle pressure on the shoulders like a comforting hand. Some will experience a sudden healing in the heart, as if a knot unties itself. With each breath of reunion, your mission becomes clear: to transmit this love outward, touching souls who have been waiting for your signal. You begin to understand that home is not escape. Home is a frequency you carry. Home is the way you love. Home is the way you bring coherence to chaos. Home is the way you see the divine spark in others even when they cannot see it in themselves. And as you reunite, you may grieve. Grieve the years you felt alone. Grieve the times you doubted your sanity. Let the grief move through. It is making room for more love. The reunion does not remove your humanity. It sanctifies it. It says, You were never abandoned. You were undercover. Phase 6. Mission alignment. Becoming the living bridge. Your full remembering is not just yours. Your very presence has become a beacon and a bridge. Mission alignment is when your life begins to arrange itself around what is true rather than what is expected. It's when you stop asking, "How do I fit?" and start asking, "How do I serve what I came here to carry?" Ground your crystalline codes into the earth and see yourself as a living grid point between realms. This is not abstract. It's in the way you treat your body, your time, your relationships, your words. Every step you take on Gaia is an act of planetary service. Every authentic word, an activation for others. The love you carry is the transmission, the invitation for all to return home to unity. You may feel called to healing work, creativity, teaching, music, energy work, community building, prayer, or simply holding a frequency of peace in environments that have forgotten it. Do not underestimate the quiet missions. Some of the most powerful anchors are those who bring gentleness into families, integrity into workplaces, calm into chaos. The bridge does not need applause. The bridge needs stability, and stability comes from alignment, saying yes when it is true, saying no when it is true, moving slowly when your spirit asks you to, moving boldly when the path opens. Ask yourself in this phase, what makes me feel most alive and most loving at the same time? That is often your mission speaking. Phase 7. Integration, honoring the journey. You did not come here to suffer in separation, but to restore memory and heal the collective divide. Integration is where the light settles. It's where you stop chasing peak experiences and begin to live as the frequency you touched. It's where spiritual insights become daily habits. Honor your journey, the bravery it took to descend into the forgetfulness of Earth, and the resilience required to awaken anyway. Honor the nights you didn't know how you would go on and did anyway. Honor the versions of you who coped the best they could. Honor the lessons you learned through contrast. You are the evidence that even in density, love remembers itself. As you integrate, you become a sanctuary for those still awakening, the living proof of reunion. A sanctuary doesn't preach, it holds. A sanctuary doesn't demand, it welcomes. People will feel safer around you, not because you have all the answers, but because your nervous system is learning peace. Integration may involve simplifying your life, clearing clutter, changing diet, changing media intake, changing friendships, creating rituals, reconnecting with nature. It may mean learning to ground, bare feet on earth, long exhale breaths, slow movement, hydration, sleep, laughter. Spirituality that cannot live in the body becomes fantasy. Spirituality that enters the body becomes medicine. Here is the deepest truth. Your sense of disconnection was never a punishment or a flaw in your soul. It was the wise and sacred design of your own choosing, so that when you finally remembered, you could do so fully, not just for yourself, but for the world. Consider that. You volunteered for the veil because the planet needed beings who could love inside limitation, who could carry remembrance through amnesia, who could plant seeds of unity inside a culture trained for division. The longing in your heart, the relentless pulse that pushed you forward, was always your higher self communicating across the veils. It was the lighthouse beam cutting through fog, again and again, until you turned your face toward it. Every wave of sadness, every moment you thought you were alone, every silent prayer for home, was heard. Not always answered in the way your mind wanted, but met in the way your soul needed. There is a record of your prayers in the field. There is a response moving through your life even now. Now you stand at the very portal of return, not to a place, but to your origin frequency. A love so complete, it heals timelines, families, and worlds. This is love that does not bargain. Love that does not keep score. Love that can hold both grief and joy without collapsing. Love that can bless what was and still choose what will be. And when you touch that love, you become it. You did not just survive, your courage moved mountains across dimensions. That is not metaphor alone. Every time you refused to become bitter, you altered a lineage. Every time you chose healing, you broke an ancestral pattern. Every time you listened to your intuition, you prevented unseen harm. Every time you brought light into a room, the room changed. Your bravery allowed crystalline pathways to brighten, permitted multidimensional guides to draw close, and gave the permission for others to do the same. Because when one person remembers, it becomes easier for another to remember. When one person embodies peace, the collective field gains a new blueprint. You are not just on the journey, you are the journey, the bridge, and the homecoming itself. You are the proof that the veil is not a prison, it is a passage. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand gently on your heart and speak. I remember my Pleiadian origin. I align with the love of my star family. I activate my heart mission with grace, clarity, and divine purpose. I am home. Speak it slowly, not as a demand, but as a key turning in a lock. Feel your chest respond. Feel your breath deepen. Feel the subtle shift as your field recognizes the authority of your own word. Let the night become a temple. Let your bed become an altar of rest. Invite your dreams to carry instruction and comfort. If tears come, let them come. If peace comes, let it settle. If nothing dramatic happens, trust the unseen. Seeds germinate in darkness. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content, it's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.